My name is Joe Peroni, and this is the Rise Above Project. And as promised, I'm going to finish off the last show that I just did. Today, I want to offer you a story, and I want to tell you about some anecdotal evidence, if you want to call it that. But it's my personal experience that I had about 20 years ago. And I think it definitely coincides with what I'm seeing today if I want to compare children of today and how we're raising them in a social media age compared to what I saw back in the year 2003. I have a lot of experiences with this, but I just want to give you one today just so we can crystallize it and just make it a little bit stronger. So I've been a very lucky person in my life. I've had a lot of things that moved me, that have I felt honored and appreciated. So I'm going to tell you about one of them today. In November of 2003, so again, we're looking at almost 20 years ago, I was invited to speak at a school. This school, the kids I was talking to, they were in fourth grade, which would make them about 9 years old. And I was invited to speak to them during career day. And in that, I was a personal trainer, and I remember it very clearly. It was a Friday. And on Saturday, I had a bodybuilding competition. So I took off Friday so I can hang out with the kids on Friday. And I taught them about nutrition. I taught them about the benefits of exercise, of working out, of being flexible, using your body. We talked about self-esteem. And we talked about the world of work, of different types of jobs that you could find in life, whether it was personal training or not, but that you were to be the best person that you could be and to try to reach your full potential. Now, although I had a bodybuilding contest the next day, I referred to it, I believe most of the time, as a presentation, because my thought is that I didn't want anybody to judge themselves, right? Because the easiest way to start feeling bad about yourself is to start looking around at some people who are better than you. And there's always somebody better at something. So I tried to frame it as I was doing the best I could with my nutritional program and my training program and trying to remain calm, be able to be emotionally regulated, and to be able to present this in front of judges and a paying audience, which there also happened to be other people doing the same thing. So technically, I was in a competition, but I phrased it as a presentation, not to scare anybody, because I wanted to hopefully motivate or inspire people to be their best selves. One of the things I remember about it is that the first class had probably about 20 to 25 people. And then that class would leave and another fourth grade class would come in. And it became obvious that when the class left, what they were trying to do is either A, try to get hall passes to come back to my class, or they were trying to somehow manipulate the next teacher to see if they could get back into my class because they wanted more attention, they wanted more questions, they wanted to be in my class. And so it was funny, so like the first class of the day, like 20, 25 people, then it was 30, then it was 35, then it was 50. Then pretty soon all these people are huddled in a room and the teachers were like, screw it, so they just came to the room too. They didn't want to fight it anymore. And so I'm in this room and it's like, there was multiple teachers and a whole bunch of kids. And it was very, it was very moving, and it was just packed with people. And I look back at this because this is the year 2003. I'm talking about 4 years before the first iPhone. These kids were incredibly engaged. They wanted human contact. They couldn't stop asking questions. They wanted to stay in the class. When it was over, they still wanted to stay. They wanted to ask more questions. They were not just interested in what I did and how they could be better people in the future, but they just wanted to be seen and heard And there was no, again, nobody back then was on phone going, oh, I'm in my own world. Again, children are wired, humans are wired for connection. They want that. They want that eyeball to eyeball contact. They are absolute sponges. They want to learn everything. And if you have a kid that's not interested in things, that doesn't want to learn, it's probably your fault because you're training them with a screen that doesn't interact, where there's no human connection. And again, they need human connection. About a week after I did my presentation, my speeches, they had presented me with a bunch of cards and letters saying that they appreciated my time there. Now, I do know that obviously the teachers tell them to send out thank you notes, and that's true. But it doesn't take away the impact of them, because they did write them on their own. And looking back on it 20 years later, I can see the difference between the way children write and the way they want to connect back then compared to now. And I think it's a striking difference, and that's why I thought I would share this with you today as I relive some of this. So let's go over this. I have too many cards to go through, so I'm just going to give you like a random sampling kind of them. But here's one. It's dated 11/24, November 24th of 2003. This person says, "Dear Mr. Joe Peroni, thank you for coming in and spending time with us. I really appreciated it. It was really great for someone like you to come in and talk to us about," it still moves me, right? It's really great for somebody like you to come in and talk to us about what happens in the world. Mr. Peroni, I enjoyed when you came in and that you were able to spend your own time with us. Do you hear that? I need you to really pay attention to that. Here's a child who is 9 years old, who is probably 28 years old now. This is a girl. She probably has her own, she's probably married and has a kid, gone through college. And at this time, she enjoyed for me to be there and to spend my time, and to be able to talk to us. Think about that compared to what you're seeing today with kids, and how you think holding up a phone is really going to replace the human contact that they so desperately need. That's the first one. Oh, the other thing I want to show you about this. You can't see her name, but you see how beautiful that penmanship is? And it's in cursive. She writes in script. See if you see that with kids today. You don't even see that, right? Like, where is our education going? That's a whole nother story, but not really. Here's another one. Dear Mr. Joe Peroni, thanks for your time and for letting us know about your job. I'm not that interested in personal training, but the way you spoke to us, it made me want to think about being a personal trainer. However, being a trainer is still not my goal. However, I still really appreciate you being here. Here's a nice card. Thank you. All right. Dear Mr. Peroni, thank you for coming to our classroom and talking with us. There's an interesting concept. An adult talking with them and not at them. Yeah. Talking with us. I enjoyed listening to you speak and to be able to explain things to us in a way that we can understand. I appreciate what you do, and it inspired me to work hard and to choose the career that I would like to do one day. And that's from a 9-year-old girl. Here's an interesting one. A little a bench and barbell set there. Thank you for coming in and talking with us. I liked your whole presentation, right? It was great. I hope you did well in your presentation. So referring to my presentation with the kids and my own bodybuilding presentation the day after. Thank you very much. I liked it when you flexed your muscles. They are huge. It looks like you flex even when you're not. Another nice thank you. Dear Joe, thank you for coming to our school. I think the best part of your presentation was when you showed us your muscles, because it shows us what a good, nutritious diet could do for all of us. I find that interesting because nowadays you're seeing kids, when they see someone who has a mastery over something, it tends to turn them off because they don't feel good about anything and nobody's showing them that they could do better. So they literally get turned off by it. I see this over and over again, right? You'll see this even in social media. Someone will show a picture and they look pretty good and all the comments are negative. And it's not like they are inspired by it. It insults their ego. And back then you're not seeing an insulting of an ego, right? You're seeing like they actually enjoyed it. It's totally different. It's almost like we've destroyed these kids, have we not? I hope you had fun with us, and I had a lot of fun talking to you. Caring about me, wanting to know that I had fun, that they're good enough to be able to be, seen and heard, right? Like, so they care, about my well-being. That shows empathy. Are we seeing that anymore these days? Yeah, we do, but not as much. Not as much. To Joe Peroni. It's a nice little card, right? Can you see that? There you go. Well, anyway. Thank you, Joe Peroni. I really enjoyed you coming to visit us and share your job with us. The part I liked the most of your presentation was when you flexed your muscles, because I thought they were really cool. Thank you once more, and good luck in your presentation. And that's from a 9-year-old girl. Thank you for coming and talking to our class. My favorite part was when you answered all of our questions, because you were really cool about it. I hope you do well in your life. Here's another nice thank you card with a dumbbell there. You can see. Dear Joe, thanks for coming into our class. My favorite part was when we were asking you questions and you answered all of them, and I believe that was the most fun part. I hope you did well in your presentation, and maybe you can come back. It's another nice card. Thank you, Joe, for taking your time and coming in to speak with us. I really enjoyed your presentation when you taught us about what kind of food that we should eat, or how we could build our muscles, or how we could be better people. I think it was very cool that you wanted to be there and that you cared about us and you would answer all of our questions, no matter how long it took. Thank you, and good luck in your competition. This person really did up there. Thanks, and thanks. Congrats on the show. I hope you keep doing good. You inspired me to get some muscles, and you inspired me to get smarter. I hope you come back. I really enjoyed the part where you were able to flick your chest muscles back and forth without actually moving. They saw that on TV. I think The Rock did it or something like that, and they thought it was this special trick that nobody could do. So I'm not going to do it here. It's ridiculous. But you flex each side of the muscle without actually moving. So he liked that. Here's an interesting card. As you see right here with the thanks, we're looking at grapes. We're looking at a watermelon, a banana, and an orange. And they actually had to write it out and say, there's the fruit. Dear Joe, thanks for being our guest on Friday. I learned quite a lot from your presentation. My favorite part of your presentation is when you said that you think it's fun to talk and hang out with students. Let me read that again, because we're in a social media age where we're showing videos to kids and we're going, why are these kids angry? Why can't these kids focus? Why do they not trust adults? Let me read that again. My favorite part of your presentation is when you said that you think it's fun to talk and to hang out with students. I hope the competition went well. All right, well that got longer than I thought. It's about 17 minutes long here, but I'm gonna end it there. There's my really cool anecdotal evidence that children today are absolutely, totally different than the kids that I knew in 2003. And there were others, but I just want to bring this part out to you because it was before social media. And you could hear them just completely hungry and thirsty for attention, and they love adults who pay attention to them. They want to learn. I mean, everything is about curiosity. So if you're not seeing this, guess what? As a macro problem, it's a problem with our culture. As a micro problem, as a parent, it's your fault. So I've given you enough ideas here, and I hope you're starting to understand what things we can do to make this better, not just for your child, but for a whole generation of kids and for a whole country and for a whole world, actually. So my name is Joe Peroni. I hope you found this somewhat entertaining and valuable. Please subscribe and tell a friend. Thank you.